KTAR Breaking News Alert.
This just into the KTAR News Center. The National Guard is going to the southern border. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs signed an executive order to send National Guard members to be stationed at multiple locations along the southern border. It will include near the Lukeville Port of Entry and the San Miguel crossing. They'll help DPS and law enforcement with analytics and preventing the flow of fentanyl and human trafficking. This executive order comes a week after Hobbs sent a letter to President Biden asking him to reassign the National Guard to reopen the Lukeville Port of Entry. Once again, Governor Hobbs has just signed an executive order that will send the Arizona National Guard to the southern border.
How about that? A little Christmas from Hobbs. Hobbs in the house. A week ago, she got tough. We said if we're sitting here a week from today and she's done absolutely nothing,
we'd be upset.
Well, lo and behold, we had no idea.
All right, so let's do this. Diane Michelle, Oh Holy Night, coming up. We're going to push it till after 2:30. And she gives the best rendition of Oh Holy Night. She's joined us for 7 or 8 years to come on the show and kick off, get into our Christmas spirit. Is the Gaydos and Chad show, last show of the year, Christmas extravaganza. So Diane, in a few minutes, let's hit the breaking news, as you said. Okay, so we're sending the governor is sending the National Guard to the southern border. Okay, is this just for show? Is it going to accomplish anything? I hate to say this, since it's breaking right now, I have more questions than answers. Will it accomplish anything? How will it open the port in Lukeville? I think one of the big things is, how does the Biden administration take this? How do they take this? Because this is more of Katie Hobbs pressuring the Biden administration.
She talked about inactive.
To do something.
Again, they've been completely incapable,
right,
unwanting, whatever you want to call it, to actually try to fix the border and to address it in any real manner. And because of that, this is, say what you want. It is a slap in the face that a governor that is from the same party of you essentially says, you guys aren't doing something, so I'm going to do the only thing I can do, which really, for all intents and purposes, isn't opening up Lukeville. They're not federal employees. They can't apprehend. They can only help in certain ways, whether it's driving people or doing paperwork, but there's nothing else that they're going to really be able to do. But it's the look, I think, in some ways, that it's another, what are you doing, man, moment.
Yeah. So why don't we review what the governor has done? Because there's very little a governor can do. We saw what Governor Ducey did. He put shipping containers up. And, you might not like that. It may have just been a stunt. But the pictures tell 1,000 words. I mean, there's so much of the border that is not covered with the wall. And then this year, of course, or not even this year, last couple of weeks, we say, well, they just cut through the wall. All right. So last Friday, the governor sends a letter to President Joe Biden and says, you're not doing the job at the border. We've had to you have closed the Lukeville Port of Entry. The governor says, I want $500 million because that's the money that we're spending on you being awful at your job.
And then remember, was it Mark Kelly and Kirsten Sinema both signed on that letter as well earlier this week?
Am I missing anything else? There was one other thing, wasn't there? She asked for 200 plus members of the National Guard to go to Lukeville to help open the port.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was last Friday. So now
she went down to the border, too.
She went down to the border. Thank you. That was the other thing. So a week later, we see that she's going to send the National Guard to the border. I'm also reading on the governor's Twitter. She's meeting with folks in Mexico on the Sonora side to discuss ways that they could work together to reopen the Lukeville Port of Entry. So she is in meetings with them, okay, with folks on the other side. I'm just seeing that, too. She says the crisis at the border is unacceptable. We need the federal government to step up, do its job. We've heard that it's almost
occasions.
Verbatim from every governor in Arizona.
When you think about how many times I was listening to, because I did some stuff on my show today where I was playing stuff throughout the year, listening to Mayorkas talk about how it's secure, how everything is fine, how there's some work to do, but this is, the ridiculousness of this.
Yeah.
And here we are at the end of the year, and we continue to break record after record.
Yeah, 10,000 a day from what I'm seeing.
It's insane.
10,000 people
and
a day.
that's the people that are encountered, taken into custody, then eventually held and paroled. Right. That is not the gotaways or the known and unknown gotaways.
I mean, some of the numbers that you look at are just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. This is what Allie Bradley was saying today. Every single day this week, the Border Patrol has apprehended more than 10,000 migrants along the southern border. The vast majority are crossing between ports, self-surrendering to Border Patrol. These numbers do not include the people who successfully evaded law enforcement. I mean, it's just so many people. It's 10,000 a day. I remember when it used to be under 1,000 a day for many years. And then everybody figured out, well, we can claim asylum. But this is not sustainable. And
nope.
I mean, you even have Democrats in places like New York and Chicago who are like, Mr.
Taxes
President,
as well, because they're going through it the same as we are.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So the breaking news is Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs. And, we asked on Monday, what was step number 2? I want to see step number 2 this week. Because you took the first step last week with the letter and you went down to the border and you asked for $500 million from Biden and you wanted National Guard to come down. That was the first step. The second step has just come down, as Becky Lynn broke the news a minute ago. We're sending the National Guard to the border.
Yeah, but don't head down to Lukeville thinking they're opening it up because they don't have the power to open it up.
No,
but
it's a federal government.
It is going to be able to assist other agents who are doing their job in the field. Transportation, probably, all the stuff inside, making sure people have blankets and are fed.
Thanks for watching Gaydos and Chad. Click to watch more and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.